It's time now for the award-winning #1 local talk show in Northeast Pennsylvania, The Sam Lesante Show. Now here's your host, Sam Lesante.
Well, folks, there's a big parade happening on Sunday. Yes, it's a big parade, a lot of great things happening. It's a Trump parade. Now, let me just say this. If there's any Biden parades, please let me know. But we're going to talk about the Trump parade. Before we talk about the Trump parade and some of the things, I have on the phone former Congressman Lou Barletta, who happens to be on the Trump bus. Lou, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Sam. We're traveling across Pennsylvania on the Trump bus tour, and we're heading east.
Now, you're coming to Hazleton Wednesday, right?
Yeah, the bus will be in northeastern Pennsylvania. Wednesday, it'll be in Hazleton at 12:15 at the Trump Victory Center on Broad Street, and then that's 12:15 on Wednesday, and then we'll be heading up to Wilkes-Barre, and it will end at Scranton.
All right, now, you know, I have sitting here with me is Dr. Polidori. You know Frank, right?
I do.
And Blaise Greco and Mary Pat Stroya, right? Okay, and also my good friend Justin Behrens, right? They're here. Let's talk about this. You're going to be here on Sunday for the Trump rally, right? Trump parade, etc.
I am, Sam. I'm really excited, and kudos to everyone who put that together. It's going to be a great day, a great parade, and a great way to show our support for Donald Trump.
And I understand that you put the word in the White House that they're having this parade up here on Sunday.
That's right. We got word to Eric Trump about what they're doing, what the parade will be for his dad.
Okay. Before I let you go, I know you're on the bus and the media is coming in. Watch that media now. Make sure they treat you good. Okay. You gotta watch us, guys. I'm telling you. Let's talk about a little bit about why you think Trump should be the president, Lou.
Well, yes, I mean, Sam, he's kept all of his promises. You know, the American people wanted someone who would speak for them, and he did. He stood up for the forgotten Americans who didn't feel like anyone in Washington cared about them. And he turned America into the greatest economy the world's ever seen. And then the pandemic hit, and now he's doing it again. So, I mean, Joe Biden's been there for 47 years. Now he wants to be president. Why didn't he do all the things he's saying now? You know, in the 47 years he was there, Donald Trump has proven himself to be the president for those who felt that no one cared.
I guess, we're going to find a little bit more what's happening, I guess, after the debate. Wish you well. Everybody on the bus behaving?
Yeah, no, it's been great, and the support across Pennsylvania is just unbelievable, Sam. People standing out in the rain, waiting for the bus to come.
That's amazing.
At each stop, so it's great to see that the support is from Western PA all the way to the east.
Well, wish you the best, and we'll see you on Sunday.
Okay, thanks, Sam.
Sure. When we come back, folks, we'll talk to Dr. Frank Polidori, who is the the chairperson for the 1st District Republicans, and Blaise Greco, who is a parade coordinator, and we'll bring some other guests on a little later on. We'll take one break right now. Welcome back to the Sam Lesante Show, folks. Don't let the parade pass you by, and that's what's going to happen on Sunday. A big Trump parade in the area. And let me just say right up front, if there's any Biden parades happening, please let me know. We want to give you equal time. But putting this whole thing together, we have with us a good friend of mine, Dr. Frank Polidori, who is the chairperson of the 1st District Republicans, and Blaise Greco, who is the coordinator. Also joining will be Mary Pat Stroya, and of course the chairman of the Republican Party in Luzerne County, Justin Behrens. So Frank, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Are you surviving this craziness?
I'm trying.
Yeah. It's something, isn't it?
It's something that God has written.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah.
And I think you're 100% right, my friend. How did we get involved with this Trump parade? It's going crazy. I mean, it's like, from what I understand, and Blaise will fill me in. Well, how do you get involved with this?
Well, every year we try to have a picnic at this time of the year or a little bit earlier. And again, whoever's writing this script sent us Blaise and Mary Pat.
Oh, boy.
And
someone doesn't like
and
you.
Blaise will talk about it, but essentially, Blaise recommended that we have this parade, and I think it's a great idea. I think people have to realize this is a very important election. It's the most important election in their lifetime, and I think it's the most important election in the lifetime of our country. You can compare it to another election that was important. That was 1860 with Lincoln, and that led to the Civil War, to the division of our country. This is even worse because this could lead to the destruction of our country. We've never had a situation where we have candidates that are openly against our Constitution and the United States that we have on the other side. On the other hand, on our side, we have a truly America First president, someone who listens to the people. If you watch President Trump's body language, you can see that he actually listens, just like you're listening right now. But anyway, what this does, it allows people to get out there and show their support for President Trump, to show people that how they're going to vote, and let their neighbors and friends and family know that this is the person they should be voting for.
Frank, you've been around a long time. You're a great orthopedic surgeon. You have a great background. Your family's well known. You're putting a lot on the line, going out and supporting President Trump. You just mentioned why you feel it's so important. We have a lot of people who who despise the president for either he's a racist, he's live up to his promises. I don't know where they get this information from, but you have staunch people, staunch Democrats, and I'm going to talk to Blaise a little bit about staunch Democrats when I speak with him. What do you say to those people?
Well, I could say that, again, I'm using an analogy, not an analogy, but a comparison of what happened in 1860. A lot of people in our country felt that way about Lincoln. They actually hated him. They made fun of him, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There was a lot of division in our country at that time, and there's a lot of division right now. But if Lincoln was the pro-America president, just as Trump is the pro-America president. And Lincoln said something very interesting. I'll make it very simple. He said, there's something in our country about the Declaration of Independence, and it's something that gives us liberty, and not just us, but it gives the hope of liberty to the world for ages to come. And I think that's what we're really after right now, this concept of liberty. And Trump has I've been asked, for example, why I voted for Trump or why I'm happy with Trump being in there, and I mentioned one reason: freedom. I've never felt freer in freedom as I felt with Trump. Freedom is the ability or the power to choose to do or not do the right thing. And liberty, actually, is an interesting word. It's the concept of feeling that you have freedom. So I think that's what it's all about. People that realize this is all about freedom, freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, freedom of religion, freedom to defend yourself, freedom from terrorism, domestic and other, freedom from disease. I mean, this disease originated in China, and it came from China. And President Trump, in my opinion, as a physician, did the best he could do. You don't know if there's a new disease. Your experts don't know anything about it, and you listen to your experts. And then, if you look at it, I'll be brief, but someone in public office listens to his experts, but he makes the decisions.
Yes. Blaise Greco. Okay. How's your business doing? Insurance, good. Investment business.
Very
okay.
Good.
You making money from me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Blaise, your involvement here. I mean, you took this and you're running with it. This parade. How did you? You're the one that came up with this parade idea.
Well, they do this in Florida a lot, and it's I've always thought this is great. So since we're spending this extended amount of time, I said, boy, I'd like to get a parade going, and I talked to a couple people, and there was some concerns, and somehow, I don't remember exactly how, but our paths with Dr. Polidoro, I think through Mary Pat crossed, and Dr. Polidoro embraced the idea. So cheers to him, because I mean, it was him that said, hey, this is great, and I have to admit, going in, I was a little concerned because we're trying to put this together, and they're organizing the picnic, but we're all kind of working as a team, and it just started to pick up some enthusiasm, and last week it picked up a lot of enthusiasm, and this week it's picking up even more enthusiasm, and it's blossomed. I mean, I wouldn't say like it's something that I personally didn't think could happen, but it's pretty amazing.
Tell me about why. I mean, you're really a Trump promoter, okay? And your family were staunch Democrats, okay? I mean, well, I would say they were Democrats. What happened in your life that you decided that Trump is the guy?
Well, I've always said, as you know, I've always been an entrepreneur. I've always been in my own businesses, and I've kind of moved away from that idea of Democrat because it didn't really fit my mold personally. So I would say since in my mid-30s I've changed. But to answer the question specifically on Trump, I have always said, run the country like a business and watch it prosper. And my reasoning for that is when you're in business, you have to constantly reinvent yourself and come up with ideas. There's nobody saying, oh, don't worry, we'll just charge some more tax and you'll be okay. You have to be the guy to make it happen. Now, I wasn't a guy that watched The Apprentice. I didn't go to Trump Tower. I may have read a little bit of his book, one of his books I think I had. But when he'd flirt with running, I'd get excited. And when he came down the escalator, I was initially supporting Ben Carson, who I think is another good man. I got on the train, and I've never gotten off. Back to you talk about the Democrat. Yeah, my grandfather was a strong committee man in 14-2, well-known. And when I say well-known, probably some of the audience would be old enough to remember. I mean, I took trips as a young kid up to Marty Murray's house, Senator Martin Murray, Frank Mazzei. I've met Dan Flood. As a young person, I know all these Democrat players. But that party is long gone. So, forgetting my reasons for moving over, I mean, they're just, they're radical. I mean, they're crazy. I mean, I'm sorry, that's how I feel. And, this guy Trump, to me, is amazing. I think he could have fixed a lot of other things if people would have got behind him. He's a business-minded guy. He could have fixed a lot of things. You say, what? He could have fixed Social Security, could have fixed health care, and I could go on and on. I'd need 10 shows to tell you how I feel about him, and I think I'd convince your audience that he is a great guy. He's for the people.
Very quickly, let's talk about your health care and what happened with you in your life.
Well, the story about healthcare, and it's something I know because, as you know, I'm a broker, and I have friends that are health insurance brokers. So when my wife got sick in 2006, I'll shorten the story, was treated at Sloan Memorial Kettering, one of the best cancer hospital in the country. I had Blue Cross and Blue Shield at the time, had my business with her, was paying $800 for Highmark Blue Cross and Blue Shield. I don't think I got one bill from Sloan Kettering in 2006. If it was minuscule. When Barack Obama was going to run for office, all my health insurance friends told me healthcare will be a nightmare if this guy gets in. Let's fast forward. My wife got breast cancer, another kind of cancer, in 2008. Okay, 2018. Fast forward 12 years, and now the healthcare that we have, okay, which was costing $800 a month, is now $2,000 a month, with like a $14,000 deductible, all tons of co-pays, and it's a nightmare to get things done and to get them to pay for it. It was easy with Sloan Kettering. Barack Obama's health care, when I hear them say that it's helped all these millions of people, it's a total lie perpetrated on the American people. You could ask any physician, you'll get 90 of them to agree it's a joke. And when they come on TV and say it's helped millions of people, no, it's ruined healthcare. Healthcare needs a whole revamping. Talk to anybody, it's a mess. So, and that's just from experience.
Folks, I'm talking to Frank Palladora, who is the chairperson of the 1st District Republicans. They're having this big parade. We'll talk more about the parade when we come back, when Mary Ann Stroya joins us, and they'll be talking to the main person, the chairman of the Republican Party. Interesting things happening. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to the Sam Lesante Show, folks. Remember, 24/7, ssptv.com. All over the world, you can watch our shows. We produce our neighborhood programming. Comcast 190 in Pottsville, 7 to 11 p.m. In the Wilkes-Barre Mountaintop, Nanticoke area, we're on Channel 92 every Saturday and Sunday evening from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. And, of course, Lackawanna County on Comcast 190, Saturday and Sunday mornings, 8 to 11 a.m. Joining me now is Mary Pat Stroya, who is the picnic coordinator for this event that's happening on Sunday. It's the Trump Parade and Trump Picnic. And of course, Frank's still on the set, trying to get rid of him, but he won't leave his seat. Mary Pat, tell me about the time, location, the picnic, and what's going on.
Okay, so we are having a very family-friendly patriotic picnic that will start right after the parade. It starts at 1 o'clock at Coriel's Grove. We're going to have food trucks. We're going to have activities for the kids, little pumpkin, toss, inflatable axe throwing. We have somebody who's going to be playing the bagpipes, singing the national anthem. We have a number of speakers, and I'll go over that in a couple minutes, and we have a DJ coming as well. So this is, bring your family, lots of space, open space, lots of social distancing, and we're really looking forward to this patriotic event.
So the one that asked Blaze, where this parade starts, and what will be how do you get involved with, in the parade, so tell me, if you can, where is this starting, the parade starting?
So the parade lineup will begin around 10 o'clock in the morning because we have so many cars that are planning to come. And if people know, I always like to say the STEM school, where the STEM school is, there's a cigar place back there. Okay. It's the Can Do Corporate Center for Hazel Township.
So you're starting at 10?
So you can start lining up at 10 o'clock.
Okay.
The parade actually starts at 12.
Okay.
And the parade will head on 309 south toward Hazleton on 15th Street, make a right-hand turn. Then when it hits 93 in West Hazleton, it's going to head north into Sugarloaf down in the valley, and then end up at Coriel Grove. We expect the parade to take about an hour, and then everybody should be arriving. We'll have places for people to park their cars. We expect a large group of motorcycles as well, and I'm not sure if the motorcycles for Trump will be there, but we're working on those. And then everybody can gather, get some food, and at 1 o'clock we're going to start with the speakers. So this is one of the first times that we've really ever had all state candidates here together in one place. And I want to take the opportunity to thank State Representative Tara Toohill, who really helped to encourage us and to help facilitate all of these speakers being here. I also want to point out that her mother is very sick, so we asked for prayers for her mom as well and for Tara. But we are really pleased to have Senator John Gordon, who's going to be there. The Honorable Lou Barletta will be here. We have 3 of the state candidates: Heather Heidelbach, who's candidate for Attorney General; Stacey Garrity, who's the candidate for State Treasurer; Tim DeFore, who's the candidate for Auditor General. We also have our special guest, Jim Bognett, who he is the candidate for the 8th Congressional District. Justin will be speaking, as well as Dr. Polidora. So we also believe Stephanie Salavantis will be there, the district attorney, and there could potentially be other candidates. So this is really, a great time for people to come out and meet these candidates that, usually you just see their name on a ballot. Now is a chance for you to come, listen to them, socialize with them, ask the questions that you really need to ask, because, as Dr. Polidora was talking about, this is one of the most important elections of our lifetime.
Yeah, I would agree, and it's a great opportunity when you're able to see one-on-one, okay? You could have a lot of billboards and a lot of posters and pictures, but it's like being on a show here. You're able to hear the person, talk to the person, and get through all the nonsense. If someone wants to get involved and they want to be in the parade, they just show up with their car or whatever, motorcycle or whatever.
That's true.
Yeah.
We do have a Facebook invite out there on the Republican Committee of Luzerne County if you want to get some details on that. But you can basically show up. We'll have people directing the cars for lineup. We will be following all of the state laws related to, transportation. So when you get to a red light, you need to stop at the red light. You need to let, people cross, cars cross. We'll probably send them out in small convoys, so that they can go ahead and not, back up any of the traffic.
Blaze, how many cars so far? And it's only the beginning of the week. I mean, I'm showing this show for a whole week, but we're close to 500, 600 so far.
That's about right.
Yeah. So it's growing, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's growing, and there's so much interest in this parade. It's really unbelievable. So, if we have several hundred cars, we expect, at least one person in every car, right? And so the picnic is going to be very large. We have, lots of food trucks.
All the food trucks, huh?
We have several food trucks.
Mini Bloomsburg Fair then, huh?
It's going to be a little bit of a mini Bloomsburg Fair. We have the Grumpy Crab, which has excellent...
That's Blaze, isn't it? Oh, no, that's Blaze, I'm sorry.
Excellent fish sandwiches and shrimp. We have Butcher Bob's who's going to be there with ribs and barbecue. Four Blooms is going to come with some food, and we're going to have some potato pancakes and some good sweets from the Whip Sweet Shop. So
I can see Frank is gaining another 5 pounds.
It's lunchtime.
Very thank you. I'm going to keep the main man here, Frank, and we're bringing Justin Behrens on. He's the chairperson for the Republican Party. He'll tell you a lot more. Stay right there, Pat. We're going to go for a break right after this. Welcome back to the Sam Lesante Show, folks. A big thing happening this Sunday. The Trump parade starting at 10 o'clock down by the STEM school building, and it'll be going all through, and then ending at 1 o'clock at Coryell Stadium. Now, Mary Pat was here, and she talked about the events. But that evening, from 5 to 9, the party continues at the Tap at Humboldt Beer Depot. And there'll be 2 candidates there, dollar beers, DJ, hors d'oeuvres, a lot of things happening, so I want to tell you that it's a full day event. Joining me now is Justin Behrens, who is the Republican Party chairperson. Justin, how you been?
I'm doing great, loving it.
Yeah, your campaign there went pretty well there, just that, you have a couple hundred votes and you would have been there, but that's history. What's happening with the Republican Party now in Luzerne County? Give us an update.
I think in this county, it's going to be like no other county in the state of Pennsylvania. We won in 2016 by 58.8%, polling for President Donald Trump. And it's going to be even higher this year.
Why do you say that?
Because people are getting angrier and angrier at what's going on and seeing what's going on in politics. And they finally found a guy that's speaking their language, right? We have the blue-collar working class individuals that have in the past, and I heard it previously mentioned, that were represented by the Democratic Party about 10 to 15 years ago. And the Democratic Party did an unbelievable job pushing them out of their party and saying, we don't represent you anymore as the working class. And the Republican Party is a tent. We accept everybody into our party, and we represent truly now the working class of this area. And they're hearing their language. They're hearing their voice spoken. I heard Congressman Lou Barletta say just previously, promises made, promises kept. This president has every single time proven his point that he made a promise and he kept it. And that's what the people love. They love someone that is finally speaking their language.
And of course, you have the diehard, just because they're a Democrat. I remember one time someone told me in the Valley many years ago, if our Lord would run as a Democrat in the Valley, he'd lose, because of, party, that's the old time thing, Mail-in ballots, what's your thoughts on that?
So right now we're seeing this big problem going on with the mail-in ballots. We saw that the FBI came into Luzerne County. They pulled 9 ballots out that were thrown away. There's a big problem behind all this. And so what we need to do is, the Republican Party is saying, listen, our vote counts. Every vote counts. And because it counts, you need to vote in person. I served overseas, over in Iraq. I didn't serve to see people's votes be thrown away. I didn't serve, especially being a veteran vote being thrown away. This is a very important election, like we've heard over and over in this message. And what we need to do is make sure that we instill that people vote so that it counts. And the only way you can do that is by voting in person. Now, I agree the absentee ballot is necessary, but that's you asking for the ballot, not the ballot being mailed to your home. When the ballot gets mailed to your home, you are instantly losing that right of a vote because it's been taken away from you because you did not request it. It's being requested by someone else. So you got to go vote in person, and I tell people, go vote in person.
Frank, how do you feel about that?
I agree 100%. My wife says this she says it very nicely. People go to the big department stores and other areas, and they don't worry about getting sick. well, why can't they just go and vote? And they'll, all kind of precautions will be made, but voting is the most important thing that a citizen can do. It's the most important thing, and you want to make sure your vote counts, and the only way you're going to make sure it counts is to get in there yourself and do it.
Now, you've heard of brainwashing, haven't you? Okay.
Sure.
And when you have, and these are facts, and I know people get upset when they hear these facts. 93% of the press media is anti-Trump. So what do you expect? They're going to tell you why you should be voting in the, they're telling you everything, fighting the average person. Now that's not fair. If it's 55-45, but 93% hammering the guy, and then you just saw a press conference where about his taxes, and it's all fake. He explained that, but you didn't see any follow. So what I'm saying, Frank, to have you believing that the ballots, and from what Charles Pedri tells me, that it'll be safe, and he'll be on the show to talk more about it a little later on in the month. You recommend, the both of you recommend, if you can go vote, go vote.
Exactly. Vote in person. Yes. And more importantly is if you're in the Republican Party, we're asking you to come out because we need poll watchers. It has nothing to do with interrupting the polling and the process of the election. It's to make sure that everything is followed through, all the T's are crossed and all the I's are dotted. It's our right to vote. It's something you have to take seriously, and we need to make sure people get out there and vote.
Okay. How is I see in Schuylkill County they added 1,500 new registrations for the GOP. How's the registrations in Luzerne County for the...
So if we take 2016, 2016 till now, the Democratic Party has lost about 3,600 registered voters. The Republican Party has gained 6,900 registered voters. We are continuously, every day, getting more Republicans registered on
because you
side.
Feel that they don't like what's happening in the country, the protesters and all the stuff that's happening in these Democrat cities, and it's just
and it goes way beyond that too. The Democratic Party speaks about only one thing: that our president is terrible, that our president does the things, he's ripping this country apart. But yet we have now the Republican Party that stands with a message that we are pro Second Amendment, we're pro-life, we're pro the family values, we're pro bringing America to the next generation. That's what it's about. That is love, hope, heroes. That's what people want to hear. People want to hear how our country's going to move forward, not how our country's going to move backwards and how we're doing a bad job. And that's why people are switching over to the Republican Party. They're speaking their language. They're speaking my kids' generation so that my kids' generation can be moving forward and have the same prosperity that we all have.
Justin, I don't know who's more excited about you or Blaise Greco. I mean, you're excited about what's going on.
I love it. This is the reason why I became the chairman of the Republican Party.
Well, as I wish everyone the best, okay? And folks, if there's a Biden parade, let me know. I'll give you the same treatment as I'm doing the Trump parade. Frank's nice seeing you. We'll see you at the end of this month.
Yes.
Very exciting show we're going to have, okay?
Looking forward to it.
Justice, nice seeing you too. And Blaise and Mary Pat, thanks for seeing you. The parade starts Sunday. 10 o'clock down by the STEM school there in the Can-Do area, and it's a full day of fun. They'll have the food trucks. They're gonna, after that, 5 to 9 up at TAP at Humboldt, and dollar beers, DJ, and enjoy, meet some candidates, and have a good time. Be safe. We'll see you next time.